Heath. Hello.
Hello. How you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I love the discussion. I watch you guys all the time.
Thanks.
I am here to convince you that there is a God.
Okay.
And I have a short and pointed argument. I've recently discovered in my life my own spiritual path after being an atheist for many years, or what you would call an agnostic, more like.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like that you guys have an intolerance for ignorance, especially religious ignorance.
I'm not sure intolerance is the word I'd use, but...
Well, after probably looking at the news and looking at world events, you guys are intolerant.
I'm bothered by ignorance, let's say that. If by intolerance you mean that I would outlaw it in my own personal society, I don't have intolerance. But if you mean that I'm irritated when I see ignorance, then you can call that intolerance.
Okay. Well, in your own personal lives, have you guys, how close do you feel that you are to the source of where you come from?
My mother
parents?
lives in New Mexico.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, your mother comes from somewhere. Her mother came from somewhere. Everything that you see around you comes from somewhere.
Actually, scientists do not know right now where the first living cell originated. There's lots of competing theories.
Right.
Of course, we all live on Earth, so in that sense, we're all pretty close to where we came from.
Well, and we also live in a
cosmic scale.
We also live in a vast universe, and like you said, we don't know exactly where that came from. So right there, that gives an openness to that there possibly is what you would call a God, which
and we've already said that it's possible, but just because something is possible doesn't mean that it's true or even likely. For instance, it's possible that there's an ice cream stand on the surface of one of Jupiter's moons. But that doesn't mean that I give that equal weight to the idea that there's an ice cream stand down the street. I think there's different levels of understanding, and not just yes or no, basically.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, and I mean, it's not good enough for me. If you're gonna question where we all came from, where it all started, and if you're gonna answer it by saying, "Oh well," if you can't answer it, then therefore God put it there. Then I'm gonna ask you where God came from.
Yeah.
I can put you in touch with God right now.
Okay.
Oh, great.
If you two guys would look at each other and see the way that you are, you're laughing and you're enjoying yourselves, but what I want you to do is I want you to be open to one another.
Okay.
And just look right at each other, right in your eyes.
Yeah.
Right. See how hard it is? See how much it tickles and how uneasy it makes you feel? Look at each other seriously with an honest and open heart to where you can really see each other.
Okay.
And see who each other is and appreciate each other.
Yes. And?
Continue. It doesn't happen in a second.
He's my brother. I've been looking at him for 26 years.
We've only got 18 minutes left on the show. We can't,
okay. Well, my point is that if you take a day and go around and do that very thing with someone that you know or love or care about in a way, and if you sit in silence for 10 minutes looking into that person's eyes, you'll understand and you'll see what God is and how to get in touch with God on a deeper level.
God?
God is...
Yes.
Sorry, I'm
sorry. You have such intolerance for...
What does intolerance mean to you?
I mean,
what can you explain to me what intolerance means?
Well, you giggle and you laugh about something that is
that intolerance? I mean, is that the same kind of thing as like burning a cross on somebody's
No, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Let me just put my philosophy out there and tell you what I believe, and instead of going on an argument where we can argue back and forth about each other's beliefs, but. The idea of God to me is as a river. It's not as an omnipotent man that is in the sky, this magical God that you were talking about with the last caller. It's not that. That is what maybe people who are more ignorant about religion may think of God as, because
of course they would call you ignorant about religion.
Well, I just think that, and I have proof of this in my own life, that God is really a river and it's exemplified in everything that you see around you. And the energy that you put out there in life will bring you a certain kind of energy in your life.
You're from Santa Fe, aren't you?
What's that?
We grew up in Santa Fe, and we hear a lot of this kind of thing.
A lot of people talk about what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, this is something, I mean, I can give, if I'm open to the universe, I can roll down my window at a stoplight and give a homeless man $20 with an energy of joy and honesty and openness and wanting and honest him to do better and to be able to go home or start his life anew in some way. I give him that money, and then if I win triple-fold in the lottery a week later,
have you won the lottery?
That I gave him. And the reason that happened to me is because of my openness and my honesty about what I was doing. My intention was out there.
Excuse me. Have you won the lottery?
Yes.
How much?
I gave a homeless man $20, and then a week later I won $130 in the lottery.
And you believe that one caused the other?
Yes.
Okay.
I, in fact, know that one did. Because
how?
Because it's not as easy as just rolling. I'll tell you how. It's not as easy as just rolling down your window and giving the guy $20 and going, "Oh, I'm going to play the lottery next week and I'll win more money."
Do you often give money? Do you often give $20 to homeless people? I mean, like
I don't
on
give
a regular
that
basis.
much. I don't give that much, but I do give
How
some.
many times have you done it?
I've done it maybe 5 times.
And have you won the lottery each of those times?
No.
Then I can't quite see how one follows directly from the other.
Because God is like a river, and sometimes you will win the lottery and sometimes you won't. It's when you expect to win.
Wait. Let me calculate for a second. You've given $120.
No. I gave a homeless guy $20 one day.
$20 like 5 times.
And I remember the feeling that I had when I gave it to him. I threw it out there to the universe, open to him and open to the beauty of life, and it gave it back to me when I least expected it. And I didn't really need the money, but I just stopped in the store and I bought lottery tickets to him, and I won.
Of course, if you consider all the times that you've given them money and not won the lottery, you're actually probably down somewhat.
Okay.
Well, it's actually if you expect to win the lottery every time you give a homeless man money, that's where the problem is. That's where the problem starts.
Okay.
I don't expect anything from life. I only want to contribute, and I want to have an open joy in my own life, and that's what God is.
Can I toot my own horn for a second?
Yes.
I'm a social worker. I give my life to the people every day of my life. I have chosen that as my life's goal.
Mm-hmm.
I have not won the lottery. Mm-hmm. I don't make very much money at all. I make less and less money all the time. Yeah. Because we have a Republican capitalist administration and they don't like social workers very much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I retract that. That's not an atheist thing.
This is not a political show.
It's not a political show. I'm an atheist. I don't give myself to the people expecting anything back.
And you don't think your energy in life that you put out in life gives you the life that you have?
I think my energy gives me my energy gives me the life that I have.
When you're in traffic, and someone cuts you off, what's your reaction? Do you become angry?
Slow down and get farther away from. Sometimes I get angry. It depends on if I'm having a good day or a bad day.
We actually just had to take a defensive driving course together.
We took it at Capital City Comedy Club. It was kind of fun.
Do you have a brother or sister that can really push your buttons?
No, he doesn't push my buttons.
Who makes you angry?
Never.
Never. What?
Who makes you angry?
Bush.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
we've got more callers to get to.
I think you guys are really intolerant and you need to get to know yourself better.
Okay, again, we still don't know what you mean by intolerant.
Okay,
but
thank you.
Anyway, going on.
Wait, I want to respond to this while he's not on the phone.
Oh, that's
First of all, if laughing and giggling is a sign of intolerance, then I hope everybody in the world can have an experience in intolerance every day of their lives, okay? Because laughing and giggling is really good for you. Okay. Second of all,
like a social worker.
Thank you. It is. I can prove it. Second of all, if this is a question of semantics, it comes up all the time, especially when you're from Santa Fe, New Mexico. A lot of people say, "Look around you. God isn't some supernatural being floating around in the universe. He is that tree over there, or that river over there, or this table in front of you, or that blue sky over your head." If you back out, you'll see all the beautiful gestures I'm making that you can't see on the screen. But I believe in that tree over there, and I believe in that river, and I believe in that blue sky over my head. And if you want to call that God, you can, but I choose to call it a tree, because that's what the dictionary calls it. Okay? I mean, you can't tell me that I don't believe in that tree over there. I believe in that tree over there. I just call it a tree. Now, if you want to call it God, do whatever you want. If you want to say that the sky is actually purple, you can go ahead and say that, but I'm going to say that it's blue.
Yeah, I'd like to get to the intolerance thing again.
Okay.
I admit that I was laughing about some of your ideas, and that's certainly true, but I think it indicates that, one, I don't agree with you, and two, I have a sense of humor about it anyway. I value that about myself, and I know what real intolerance looks like. Real intolerance means forbidding people from doing things, categorizing all people for something they basically can't help, like their skin color, from drinking at somebody else's water fountains. Or I just saw Hotel Rwanda this week, where a whole bunch of people decided that some people who looked almost the same as them and didn't even have different religious beliefs, as far as I could see, but the Hutus decided that the Tutsis were all bad, and they killed like 800,000 of them within a week. That's intolerance. Chuckling about ideas I disagree with is not.
And not only that, but chuckling about turning to my brother and staring into his eyes for a very long period of time. I agree, that's a little bit uncomfortable because he's my brother. But you know what? I've been looking at him for 26 years, and I haven't seen God yet. Sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you. God, if you're out there,
I mean it. I'd like something to happen
really,
right now.
Strike me with lightning. I'm blaspheming. I'm saying that you don't exist. Now, right now. Nothing. Sorry.